Hello everyone, today in this video we are going to learn a very important topic, that is President's role in India. Keep learning and enhance your knowledge. President's role in India. President's rule, also known as state emergency or constitutional emergency, is a critical provision in the Indian Constitution that allows the central government to take direct control over a state's administration in a specific circumstance. It is outlined primarily under Article number 356. Now let's see what is President's rule. President's rule refers to temporary suspension of a state government by the President of India, leading to the direct administration of the state by the Union government. It is one of the three types of emergency provision mentioned in the Indian Constitution. Now let's see what are the three emergency mentioned in the Indian Constitution. Article 352, National Emergency declared due to war, external aggression or armed revolution. Article number 356, President's rule, that we are going to learn in this video. Article number 360, Financial Emergency declared due to a threat to Indian financial stability. Now let's see key constitutional articles. Article number 355, it places a duty on the Union to protect state from external aggression and internal disturbance, and to ensure the state government is carried on in accordance with the Constitution. Article number 356, it allows the President to impose President's rule in a state if the constitutional machinery in that state has failed. Article number 365, it specifies that if a state fails to comply with directions given by the Union, can be a ground for imposing President's rule. Now let's see ground for imposition of President's rule. Here we are going to study 5 common ground for the imposition of President's rule. Number 1, political instability. Number 2, failures to form government. Number 3, serious breakdown to law and order. Number 4, defiance of the constitutional principles. Number 5, non-compliance with central directives. Now let's see point number 1, political instability. If no political party secure a clear majority of the election, that is hung assembly, or a coalition breakdown leading to the collapse of the state government without a viable alternative, President rule can be imposed. Number 2, failure to form government. After a general election, if no political party or coalition is able to form a stable government, President rule can be imposed. Number 3, serious breakdown to law and order. If the state government is unable to control widespread internal disturbance, revolution or riot, and the administration has effectively ceased to function constitutionally, President rule can be imposed. Number 4, defiance of the constitutional principle. If a state government acts in a manner that is clearly unconstitutional, for example by promoting anti-secular policies, President rule can be imposed. Number 5, non-compliance with central directives. As per Article number 365, if a state government disregard or fail to implement direction issued by the central government, President rule can be imposed. Here we are going to see approval and duration of President's rule. Presidential proclamation. President rule is initiated by a proclamation issued by the President. It has to be approved both from the House of the Parliament, that is Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha. The approval must be secured within 2 months from the date of its issue. Approval must be granted by a simple majority in both the houses. What is simple majority? A simple majority is when more than 50% of the members present and voting support a motion. What will happen if the Lok Sabha dissolves? If the Lok Sabha is dissolved at the time of proclamation or dissolved before its approval within the 2 months period, the proclamation survives for 30 days from the first sitting of the newly constituted Lok Sabha, provided the Rajya Sabha has already approved it. Initial duration. Once approved by the Parliament, President's rule can continue for 6 months. Or about the extension, it can be extended for a maximum period of 3 years, with parliamentary approval required every 6 months for its extension. Now let's see the limitation on extension of President's rule. The 44th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1978 introduced strict conditions for extending President's rule beyond 1 year. For any extension beyond 1 year, the condition must be simultaneously met. Number 1. National emergency under Article number 352 must be in operation in the whole of India or in the whole or any part of the state concerned. Number 2. The Election Commission must certify that the holding of general election to the Legislative Assembly of the concerned state cannot be held due to difficulties. Now let's see the effects and consequences of President's rule. Number 1. Executive powers transferred. The President takes over all the functions of the state government, including the power vested in the governor or any other executive authority in the state. Number 2. Governor's role. The state governor, acting on behalf of the President, runs the administration of the state, often with the help of chief secretary or appointed advisors. Number 3. Dismissal of the State Council of Ministers. The State Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister is dismissed during the President's rule. Number 4. Legislative power transferred to Parliament. The President can declare that the power of the state legislature shall be exercised by or under the authority of the Parliament. Number 6. Suspension or dissolution of the State Legislative Assembly. The President can either suspend the State Legislative Assembly or dissolve it. If the Assembly is only suspended, it can be revived if President's rule is revoked. If dissolved, fresh election must be held. Point number 7. High Court unaffected. Importantly, the Constitution positioned power and function of the State High Court remain unaffected during the President's rule. The judiciary continues to function independently. Number 8. Laws made during President's rule. Any laws made during the period of President's rule remain operative even after its revocation. However, the state legislature can alter, repeal, or enact or re-enact such laws. Revocation of President's rule. The President has the authority to revoke President's rule at any time. No parliamentary approval needed. Unlike its imposition and extension, President can revoke the proclamation unilaterally without any requirement of a parliamentary approval. Now let's see the judicial review and the S.I. Bommai case 1994. The application of President's rule has historically been controversial, often perceived as a political tool. The judiciary's role became paramount in ensuring its constitutional use. Now let's see the evolution of judicial review. Initially, the 38th Constitutional Amendment Act 1975 made the President's satisfaction for the imposition of President's rule final and beyond judicial review. However, with the coming of 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978, repealed this provision made the President's satisfaction subject to judicial review. Now let's see S.I. Bommai vs. Union of India 1994, the landmark verdict. This Supreme Court judgment significantly curtailed the arbitrary use of Article number 356 and laid down several crucial principles. Judicial review. The President's satisfaction for imposing President rule is justiciable, subject to judicial review. Basis for satisfaction. The satisfaction of the President must be based on relevant materials and not on not on malafide intention. Court's power to strike down. Courts can strike down a proclamation if it is based on irrelevant materials, is malafide, or is found to be extraneous to the purpose of Article number 356. Restoration of dismissed government. If the imposition of presence rule is found to be unconstitutional, the dismissed state government can be restored or the suspended legislative assembly revive. Assembly dissolution timing. The state legislative assembly should be dissolved only after parliamentary approval of the proclamation. Before approval, it can only be suspended. If parliament does not approve the proclamation, the assembly revives. Secularism as a basic structure. The court held that secularism is a basic feature of the constitution, and any state government pursuing anti-secular policies can be a ground for presence rule. Floor test. The confidence of the Legislative Assembly in the Council of Ministers should always be decided on the floor of the House through a vote of confidence and not by the President's subjective assessment. Exceptional powers. The court emphasized that Article 356 is an exceptional power and should be used sparingly only in case of absolute constitutional breakdown. It should not be used for political consideration. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope this video helps you a lot. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.